I've just started recording. So if you could, go ahead and start sounding off and we can just get you captured here. I see we got Eric Brandmeyer just joined as well.
Hi, Dan, Sparta, St. Clair County.
I heard we got Dan at Sparta and then someone at St. Clair County. I don't know if that was Sam.
Yeah, it's Sam.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning. Green County.
Who was that? Was that Ruth?
Ruth Ann Sars from Green County.
Okay, gotcha.
Georgia from Chester.
I heard Georgia from Chester and Tina from Fayette.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Gary Engel, St. Anthony's.
Gotcha, Gary.
Diane from Redbud Regional.
Gotcha, Dan. I think that might be it. Anyone else? All right, we'll try to, as I see folks log on or call in, we'll try to get them captured. I hope everybody can hear me correctly. I hope everybody's weekend was great, and now we're into the great month of May, and wow, I mean, the year's kind of flying by already. Don't have too many things we're going to talk about today, but we'll give you a quick update and give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions about things on the horizon. But definitely going to talk about the project submissions and where we're at with those. We'll talk about our Ebola plan workshop that we held about a week ago or so, 2 weeks ago. A bylaws update, sub-award training that's going to be conducted, and coalition surge tests. So project submissions. So again, we talked about it last month, but we did have 33 project submissions, totaling about $381,000 in total. So you kind of can see them outlined there. Most of that's kind of rounded up. Some of it's exact, but we got a lot. There will have to be some cuts, to be honest, just based on the project scope. Of what they're intended to do. Not a lot of cuts. I would say probably out of all 33 project submissions, maybe we have. And it's actually 31 project submissions. 2 of them were duplicates, so it's actually 31 for 381,000. But that said, maybe we have 2 or 3 organizations that will either have some. I can't say anyone will have all of their project kind of cut out, but because where we're at with funds and we don't know what we're receiving from IDPH yet, I can't tell you exactly where that cut line is going to be. Okay, I do have them prioritized, so the executive committee has taken their time and kind of ranked them, and I've racked and stacked them. I do have that. I am going to have to set up another meeting or a meeting with the executive council to basically take a look at those again. So when we do make some cuts, we're doing it with the entire region in mind. So more to come on that, and hopefully we'll be able to have all that done by the next meeting. So you'll know exactly which projects made it and which projects didn't for our upcoming budget period. Okay.
Hey, Phil.
Yes.
Phil, this is Georgia. I see on here where Memorial Chester asked for $30,000 on project number 17.
Okay.
I did not. That must not be. That's not me.
Okay.
Mine are down at the bottom.
I'll go back and look. We'll double check what we have listed. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I just have it. I probably just have it labeled wrong, but I'll double check it. Any questions again on project submissions? Okay, I do notice Danielle Rothman. I see you joined. And do we have anybody else? Okay, not that I can see. All right, Ebola plan workshop. So we held that on the 22nd. And then we had 10 attendees. I think it was a success. It was kind of our initial spitball session on how we plan to address our regional Ebola plan. I basically say the 2 highlights that kind of came out of that is that yes, we're going to kind of morph this into a high consequence infectious disease model versus a specifically an Ebola regional plan. So that's what it's basically going to be titled, but it should meet the needs of what the grant state, and that's how kind of everything is moving anyway. I know a lot of you guys have probably heard this before, but so we're going to go on that model. The other thing that we kind of fleshed out with notional examples is how we're going to do our regional kind of activation and alerting process, and I think we talked about this before, but we're going to be mirroring exactly what we're doing in the region right now, where we have we followed the FEMA typing from a type 5 all the way to a type 1 type incident, 5 being basically an alert, type 1 being something of regional significance, high regional significance that may even make national news. So we did some good notional examples there. We got a lot of good conversations out the way, and took a lot of good notes. So we're going to try to come up with a follow-up meeting to this, but we'll work, and I've already been working on the actual plan itself. So hopefully over the next 30 days I'll have a shell, and maybe I can have it out before the next meeting, so folks can kind of take a look at it, at what we're aiming to do, and where we kind of need to go. So, but that was a success. So thanks for all of those who attended and participated in that. I'm gonna call it a workshop, but it was really a brainstorming / spitball session. So are there any questions regarding the Ebola plan workshop at all? Okay, nope. Bylaws review. So we did this via electronic vote when we sent it out, but we've only received 7 votes, which I actually need total, I think 13 or 14, based on the amount of voting members that we have, to consider it, via electronic vote, to whether we pass it or not. There were some requested changes, and now here I'll kind of go over at least the ones that were listed. Give me one quick second. Some were just some observations of what we're doing versus, what we say we're doing versus what we're actually doing. So, and what I mean by that is, Eric, I'll put you on the spot right now. He says the March 15th deadline. We had a date in there, March 15th. I think we even wrote this 2 years ago. So March 15th was our project submission deadline for project requests. And this year, what was it? It was April 1st. The year before that, it was like May something. So we've had it for several years. We haven't made it to it yet. And I'd say, whether, I think it's been not that we haven't been leaning far enough forward, but we've been burning multiple grants at the same time. So, but I agree with what Eric put in there, and he said, hey, can we just move this since we're not meeting that? But I also believe that we probably should be moving that date up. And when I say up, I mean forward in the grant year, so as not to be even later. I think we should honestly be moving it, if at all possible, to either December or January, the end of January that year, or the end of December the year prior. And I want to get a little bit of folks' feedback, because I think I understand Eric's point here. Does anybody have any thoughts on that as far as when project submissions should be changed to? Do you want to keep it at March 15th and try to maintain that, or do we want to move it up, move it forward in the calendar? Anyone's thoughts? No perspective? Or
Hi, Bill. This is Tina. And I didn't submit any for this year, but I think the March 15th, as long as everything's online or in alignment, I think part of it is not really knowing at the beginning of the grant on how things will work, if we'll be able to do that, or it all has to be just totally for the region, the money, and not individual hospitals or health departments.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay, thanks, Tina. Anyone else have any perspective or ideas regarding the timelines for submission?
It's Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Eric. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
As far as when you say a bad idea, which part?
Oh, no, I think the idea of having it moved up is a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine with us.
Okay. And Eric, I know I'd like to get some more of your feedback. I know you joined. Do you have any other? Did you want to provide any more perspective to the group? Yay, nay, or are you hitting the mute button? I can't tell. But if you do jump on, you can just interrupt me. And I see we got Randall that just joined. Eric is typing now. I can see him typing. So give me a second. Let's see what he says. Bing. Nope, he says nothing further. Okay. So we're going to kind of look at that. And there's a few other things that I just think administratively that we could just be doing better. And we've got some comments regarding that. And just one, maybe two administrative, like there's a typo, missing a word here or something like that we can fix. So, again, barring the fact that we don't have a quorum, or we didn't have a quorum, I think at our next meeting, I'll make a few adjustments here, and we'll be looking to pass these at our next face-to-face meeting, okay, which will be in a couple weeks. So, all right, we'll move forward. Sub-award training, okay? So for those of you who will be receiving a sub-award this year, if you haven't received a note from Christina yet, we will be having a basically 1 hour online training session similar to what Caitlin did 2 years ago. But Christina's going to run this one. She's handed me a copy. She's gave me a copy of slides. I've taken a look at them, and Sarah's taking a look at them. She's trying to make sure that they're good to go. But she's going to schedule directly with those who have received sub-awards. But I will tell you, it will be online on the 9th at 1300. We will record it and then just send it back out for anyone who might have missed it. But I highly encourage you to jump on this one, especially if this is your first year receiving a grant, okay, as a sub-awardee. Really, highly encourage you to jump on that. You will need to attend that training. Okay. So one thing I do want to talk about, since we're talking about the grants and the training as well as the project submissions, one of the things that I've noticed this year is that we seem like we have a lot more of the project submissions that are, I don't want to say they're pigeonholed, but they're really focused on the individual's hospital preparedness, which is great and does help out the region. But as we kind of talked about in our last face-to-face meeting, we want to start looking at some, I want to say, broader strokes or broader projects that can go out and make large impacts across the region. So for this, we'll take the projects that we do have this year, which I do think a lot of them are great projects to have. But I would ask that you guys in the future years try to really look at some things that can help bring us kind of all together, things that are going to unify what we're doing across the region and meet some of our regional goals, as we've kind of outlined over the past couple of years. And a lot of those missions in our 5-year goals, and I think we sent it out. I sent it out a while ago, but I can send out another copy. As a matter of fact, I will post it inside of our Member Planet, along with our plans that we have in there, the ChemPack plan, the EOP, the TICP, all of those. I'll post that strategic plan that we did last year in there as well, and it kind of talks to some of those things. So if you look at that and use that as kind of your guiding principle when you're thinking about your project request, that would be great. All right, so next week, 1300, next Thursday, I believe that is. Coalition surge tests. It's going to happen. I will say that I don't know unless someone can tell me online, but I think we've only had one organization, that's Gary's, who's going to be actually hosting it at their location, want to take part as an evacuating hospital this year. Last year we had 3 or 4 organizations that participated. This year I haven't received any requests, and I've been banging the drum since January, but we haven't received any requests. Now, if you do want to participate, you still can, but we definitely would need. I'd need to know as soon as possible, because as in the last meeting I told you, it will occur in the first 2 weeks of May. So if you want to participate, let me know today, so we can make arrangements. Is there anyone that's on the line right now that want to participate this year that did not either email me or otherwise let me know. No? Okay.
Well, this is Randall from Carnival. We'll do whatever we can to participate.
Okay. So you'll definitely probably receive calls. But again, if your organization, when I say the commitment of participating, basically your organization, your care managers, and probably some of your hospital administrators would be participating and for the duration of the exercise, which is about 3.5 hours. So I would like you to keep that in mind. We could definitely, you can talk to me or Lee right offline if you're really serious about participating. But again, it will happen within the first 2 weeks of May. So today's May 1st. All right. Yeah, and it's low or no notice. I will say that. Upcoming events. Next patient decon course we got is at Gateway on the 16th of this month, and then we got the future ones out there. You can see those dates again. All those are Remember Planet now. We do have the supply chain next week. Supply chain and medical resources workshop. The goal of that, I think we've got. Last time I looked, I thought we had 18 people signed up. I have to double check it, but we got a lot of folks signed up. We're going to be doing that face to face here at Memorial Hospital. There is a call-in. There will be a call-in line for those if you cannot make it. We'd like to have folks in the room to discuss these things, but we understand that a lot of folks got to drive, and maybe you don't have that amount of time to come over. So there will be an online component to where you can call in and talk. We can get the video cameras and all that kind of stuff going if we need to. But that's going on for the duration. Yeah, and it's 18 folks have registered to participate. So I think that's going to be a good thing for us. For those of you that are coming, and again, I'll send out an email to that group, to all those who have RSVP'd, that'll basically say, bring your list of stuff and maybe things that you don't, that you know that you have, that we may not know you have, and those things that we know you have. Just be cognizant of those things, equipment, resources, and we will be talking supply chain a little bit. So if you're coming with someone that's maybe a part of your supply chain, materials management or what have you, they can kind of talk who you receive products from. That would be great as well. But you don't have to be an expert in that. And I know a lot of folks will be like, I get this from Cardinal, I get this from such and such. So we will be talking about that as well. So not just our regional shared resources, but just some of the resources that you use or the suppliers that you use within your organization. We're talking about that. The TCCC course, Tactical Combat Care course, that's going to be going on for REMERT across the river here. So that's going to be going on. It's going to be kind of specifically for them, but that's on the 14th. The Alternate Care Site Management course, that's 6. Is that 6 and 7, Lee? Is that 2-day? That's a 2-day one.
Yeah, it's 2-day.
Okay. So yeah, that's at Gateway. That's going to be a great course, and I think we got 30. Is it 38 or 33 signed up?
34 at the moment.
34. Okay, so neither. But great. That's good. That's good. We still got room. Then the medical management course, 717, and Sam's got a spot for us down here in St. Clair County. They've got a little annex area where that training is going to take place. So thanks for all the folks that have signed up there. And that bombing course at the end of July. Again, coalition surge test to be determined, but within the next 2 weeks. IDPH conference, again, that's late June for those of you who will be attending this year. And ChemPack Full Scale. I wanted to bring up something just when this talks about full scale exercise. Lee and I approached a couple of other organizations or contract organizations to discuss potential planning and execution of exercise, full scale exercise. As you guys kind of know, we did a lot of legwork to do our chemical or our ChemPack exercise as a shared exercise that kind of fell through literally at the last minute within the final 30 days of the actual exercise. So we put in, my team put in a lot of work, and a lot of people around here, the folks at Eastside Health, St. Clair County local health department, a lot of fire departments and other first responders, EMS agencies put in a lot of work. And while we were supporting, we were direct partners with that. We weren't the lead agency on that exercise. We were going to kind of tag along. So we kind of looked at bringing in a potential contractor to run one of those full scale, so we can have somebody that can do it soup to nuts. When we're not available to do some of the things, they can push things forward. So we're just exploring that right now. Wanted to get some feedback from the folks online, and maybe if that's been done before. And I know you guys probably, for those of you who are participating in the upcoming exercise that the folks over in St. Louis are doing, and that's a big coordinated terrorist attack exercise that will be going on. They're using a contractor, so we kind of reached out just to see what that would be like. If anybody's had any feedback in our region with using a contractor or something like that, I'd like to get it from you. And if you'd like to discuss it right now, it'd be great, just so we could have kind of just a little bit of, trying to open a little bit of dialogue, and maybe something that we could use on a future project request or budget item in the upcoming or outgoing years. Anybody have any thoughts, or has anybody ever participated in one in the region similar to that? No? So I guess this the complex coordinated terrorist attack is going to probably be the first one that we're doing. I see Eric's typing. I'm not sure what he's about to say, but I'll give him a sec. Someone else just joined. Okay, so one of Eric's comments was Haggerty does a great job. They've done multiple exercises for STARS, which is great. And I know Haggerty's done they've been their prime vendor for a lot of things across the STARS region. So yeah, and that's exactly who we reached out to. Is that right, Lee? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that is correct.
Okay.
I'd like to take just a quick second, if I can, Phil, on the upcoming events. The 2 classes in July, we still have a lot of space available, enough so that if we don't fill the next, we got to get, I think, 7 seats for the Seaburn event, and then I think we need 5 more for the other one to even hold the class, so they're going to cancel it. If we can get more participation, that would be wonderful.
You said the medical management of Seaburn, we need 5 more?
I need 7 more for the one on the 17th, and I think I need 5 or 6 more for the one at the end of the month, which is the bombing incident class.
Bombing incident, yeah.
And I've sent it out to the entire state of Illinois as well as to Missouri, and just having issues getting folks to register.
Okay. So we'll definitely, if you guys can beat the trees on those, you guys again have access to Member Planet. They're in there. If some of you resource hospitals, if you'd reach out to your EMS agencies, I know I've asked Mike to do that as well here. So okay.
And I'll say this much for it: both of those courses are actually very pertinent to the big CCTA, the STARS exercise that we're going to be in part of next year. That's part of the reason we're doing this, is to help build up so that, when we do have a mass, whether it's an incident like a Boston bombing or whatever, that people have at least a general idea of what they need to do and have a little bit of formal training on it. And they're both excellent courses. I've taken both of them previously.
Yeah. We've had these coordinated attacks, starting with those ones in France, and the others just had recent synagogue shootings. It's always something, right? It's always something. So yeah, these are some gems that we can actually kind of put into use over time, but we don't want to wait until the exercise is on this date and then do this right before it, because then it's going to be really, really difficult to take any of that back to the organizational level and implement any part of it. So we want to start as far out as we can, and not just for good participation in the exercise, but just preparedness in general. It's not where. It's gonna just be when. It's gonna happen. We're not gonna be able to predict where, but we do know that something like this is gonna happen again and potentially again. So let's get prepared now. All right. Gonna open the floor up to folks. If you guys had anything on your mind, questions, concerns, need for training. Yes.
Are you still going to need me as an evaluator for the surge test?
Well, I know, and I thank you for volunteering. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the way it sounds, I think Lee and I, unless Randall comes through and says, "Yep, we want to participate," and then it'll probably just be me and Lee going out, unless you want to ride out with us to go talk to Gary out in Alton.
I'll be there, but I mean, if you don't, I certainly have, I can find other stuff to do.
Oh, I'm sure.
I just, I know I had told you that I was available, and I just needed to see if you were still needing me or not.
Yeah.
Okay. If something changes, just let me know.
Will do. Anyone else? All right. If not, I hope everybody got an opportunity this past weekend to see Avengers Endgame. I've seen it twice. I will see it a third time. Today's my son's birthday, and we're going to go this weekend to see it again. And just right around the corner is going to be May 4th, so all the Star Wars geeks like myself will be screaming, "May the 4th be with you." So I will say that now since I won't see you on the 4th. And then Spider-Man comes out. So that's what I'm doing in between the rest of the real world. So thanks again for everybody joining. We're going to sign it out here. Thank you.